Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So today is Grandma's Journal Day, and I am so excited because I want to show you something that I have not done in a long time. Now you're going to need just a scrap junk mail envelope. Now if you don't have one, just grab a regular envelope out of your stash. It needs to be a long one, but, doesn't really have to be because we're going to cut it. Now, you need to cut it to the length of your page. So if your journal's not grandma and it's, for a friend or something else, that's okay. And you can craft along with me. Now, you're going to cut it to the length of your page, okay? Save that little piece, as always, because we always use it, okay? Cut it to the length of your page. All right, mine's to the length of my page. Now you're also going to need, now I'm standing up here because I'm kind of short and I need to be able to see everything. Now you're also going to need to pick out a piece of paper. Now it can be a piece of the scrapbook paper that you're using in your journal. It can be a book page. Let me show you what I mean by book page. Where'd that journal go? It can be a book page. Let me show you what I mean by book page here. Let me show you what we're making. Hold on a second. It's hiding from me. Should have marked the silly page. Okay, so this is what we're going to be doing. You're going to cover the front of the envelope like this, and then it's going to open like this. Okay, so your envelope's going to be covered in the back, and then your other page is going to be covered. So it can be a book page from anything. As long as it fits your other page, you're okay. Okay, so that's what we're making. All right, so that's your reference. Alrighty? So your page needs to be folded, then fold your page so that you know that it's going to fit on your facing page. Now I've already folded mine so that I know that it fits. Now here's how it attaches to your page. It wraps around. Hold on, mine got stuck here. It wraps around the facing page. It gives you a little tuck. So you're going to cover your flap. You're going to cover this, okay? Don't worry about this. You're not going to need it. But you're going to cover your flap right here. You're going to cover it with something, anything. It doesn't matter, okay? And then you're going to cover this part also. Now, what I do when I cover mine, I cover my base with just an old book page. It doesn't matter. I just cover it with an old book page. All right, so that's what I'm going to do now. So let me move this. And we'll put it here out of the way because I don't need that. But I do need this. And I whop-a-doodled my knee, so my knee keeps popping. Okay. And I don't need the fabric, but I do need this. I don't need my tweezers. So I am going to need this, and I need it open like that because I have to cover this and this. I don't have to cover the back yet because it's going to be covered with my decorative page, okay? So this page is a base. You want to cover it with something, anything. A book page, more decorative paper, anything you want, you can cover it with, okay? I'm sorry. If I keep saying ow, I'm sorry. My knee keeps popping. So I'm just reaching down here to my old book pages. And this is usually when I use book pages that are too fragile to use anyplace else. Because they're just getting glued down. Okay, it's just getting glued down. It's only background. It's taken away all this white. Now, something that I do do is, because this is just in case, is I will ink around my edges. And every now and then I forget to do that. And we all know why I do this. Because if I don't, I have a white edge sticking through. Now, you can also use, you know those little book paper pads that sometimes we get that are just a little bit bigger than this. Hold on, I'll show you. Now, when you get to your edges, you might want to scooch it in a little bit. Just schmuck it up. Just schmuck it up a little bit. There you go. Because you don't want any white edges showing. And it doesn't matter which way that cut edge is, because we're going to cover it. Okay, mine needs to go this way because that's the way I measured everything. These are what I'm talking about here. Okay, let me get my book page out of the way here. These things. You know, if you get these, if you've ordered these for the stickers and things like that, you can use these. You know, I have a few of those that I order for the pet stickers, and they work really well. Okay, and for this, I just use glue stick. I just use a really good icky sticky glue stick. I like my art glitter glue, but I just find my glue stick works really well for the base. And I can get it all down. Now, you don't have to use glue stick. You can use your art glitter glue. You can use your matte medium. You can use whatever you want. But just remember, if you put down a liquid, it's wet. So you're going to have to stop and let it dry. That's why I ink. Because no matter what glue you use, once it's down, it's down. Okay. But I don't mind that because I can trim it off if it's needed. All right, so now I'm going to start covering it. It doesn't even matter that shows because it's going to get covered. That's okay. It's the middle that needs to get covered. So now I need to choose papers to cover the rest of it. So I'm going to choose papers from the rest of my paper pack, because I know that they're going to go with the background paper that I've chosen. And I'm just pulling out the scraps, you know, from where we've cut things. Okay. So that would be a good one, but I don't want that on the bottom. I want... Okay, that's a nice size maybe for in the middle, because you're creating 3 pockets. So let's see. Where are the rest of my scraps? There's one. So we're creating 3 pockets. Remember that? We're creating 3 pockets. Let me show you here. My desk is quickly filling up. We're creating 3 pockets. Oops, sorry. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this one actually has 4. Okay. So you're creating pockets. So, and I use some of the paper out of those. So you're just tearing your paper to fit across your envelope. So this, it doesn't even have to be neat and tidy. And I don't really even have to use this. I can pull from these. I can pull paper out of these. Now these are all stickers. This one's all pet stickers. Now this is paper. I can pull out of here if I want. But it doesn't really go with, you know, with my grandma journal. So that's why I'm using this. So this one I want to use, but I want to tear the edges. I want that torn, old look like this. Now, I'm not going to glue down yet. I'm just going to place. And I only want 3 pockets. Okay. And I think I want something like this towards the bottom. And I'm just going to tear all the way across until I can figure out where I want this deer. Do I want him right about here? Yes, I do. Now, I don't normally tear that edge because that helps me line it up. And I'll leave that until I'm done. Now, I want something up here. Now, that one's not going to be shown a whole lot because everything's getting tucked up underneath it. But all this paper is really cute, so it doesn't really matter. So, maybe a piece of that. So, what size do I need? Maybe right here. Okay, so I think I'm going to go like that. That's how I'm going to go. Now, to put these pockets down, I am going to use my art glitter glue. Now, I'm going to get them where I want them. Okay. Now, as you can tell, I haven't done anything to this edge yet. But what I am going to do, so I know where my edge is I'm going to fold that over. Otherwise, I'm not going to know where my edge is. There. Okay, so there's one pocket. Now this pocket, I'm not going to glue across the bottom. I'm only going to glue the sides. Now, I should have inked these. But I can come back and do that. Okay, there's two. Now this means that this pocket is going to be open. I'm going to be able to put something in and it's going to go all the way through to the bottom. Now this pocket, I do have to glue the bottom. So I'm just going to go on and glue across the bottom. And I'm going to go on and glue down the side. Like that. Now this one, oops, didn't glue down. There. Just like that. Now, I'll double check that. I don't think I got glued up high enough. Now, why did I glue the envelope and not the paper? Well, that's a really good question. I glued the envelope so I could make sure I had it lined up on the edge, and especially over here, so I had it lined up where I wanted it. Now, over here, I can go on and cut this off. I can just go on and I can just trim this off. Now, I could go on and just wrap this around if I wanted. And you can do that if you're doing something different. There. Now, I can go in here and check these edges. Especially that one. I think I did miss this one. Okay. Now, up here, I need to trim this edge. I love making these. These are like some of my favorite things to do. Okay. So, this is trash. Now, I'm going to leave this open up here, but I probably will go on and trim up here, since I didn't get my paper all the way up to the top. And if I were making this for a big journal, just one of my own personal fun playtime journals, I wouldn't worry about that. Okay, now I'm going to let that glue dry for a minute before I start messing with, bopping it around with my dauber. Okay, so now I need to take care of this the rest of the way. So I need to decide what I want to go down there. Now, I had another, here it is, right here. I want a piece of this to go down the side. So that's what I'm going to put down the side. So again, I'm just going to use my glue stick. And I'm just going to butt this up just like that. Now, before I do anything else, I'm going to take this. Ooh, that makes a creepy sound. And I'm just going right between the two of them. Okay. Now I can turn it over. Now, if I don't like this shape, after I get this trimmed off, I can take it to my paper cutter and I can straighten it up. And most of the time I do, because this is just really a big piece. Okay, so there's that. Now, okay, so now we have this piece done and we have this piece done. So now we have to attach the big piece to the back of the envelope and to our page. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so let's get some things cleared off here so we have some room. Okay, where's the piece I folded? Right there. Okay, now on the back of our envelope here, now remember this is going to wrap around our page. It's going to go like this. Okay, so these are pockets that you can put anything in them you want. Okay, these are pockets. Okay, and this is going to open. And whatever's here is going to attach here. So we need to glue this closed and this closed. So let's go on and do that. Oops, a doodles. Make sure you go across the top. Okay, now where did my peekaboo, where are you? Right there. Okay. This is the piece that goes to the page. I've already folded it, I've already measured it. This is the side that goes to the envelope. So I need to make sure I have it going the right direction, because if not, I'm going to have my critters going upside down. Oh, wait, you know what? I need to make sure the journal's going the right way. Okay, it is. I just glued something in my other journal upside down. Okay, so line it up here and line it in snug into here like this. Okay. So you want to make sure everything's lined up. Now, because I trimmed it, remember when I trimmed it, it's going to be a little bit too big, but that's all right. Snug it into your fold. And by fold, I mean that fold. Okay. Hold it into your fold. Now, you don't want it so close into that fold, into there, that it pulls it away. So when you get it in there, see that little teeny tiny, almost spine looking area right there? You want to keep that. So don't fold this down, this page. Don't fold that down with a bone folder. You want to keep that because you want it to be able to open nicely. Wait, I have it going the wrong way. Okay, you want it to be able to open freely and not yank your paper off of your page. See, like that. Okay, so lay your envelope down. Make sure it's where you want it. Fold it over. Now, I always start at the top. Now, you can use whatever glue you choose to glue this down. The important place to remember is the sides. Your outer edges. You need to remember those. You can use a glue stick on this. I've used both. I've used glue sticks. I've used our glitter glue. I've used Eileen's tacky glue. I have used every glue in my arsenal to do this. Nothing works any better than the other. It is absolutely your personal preference. Just know your glue. Because once it's down, it's down. Okay, so once you have it on your envelope, glue it on your page. And see, mine went a little crooked, but that's all right. It always does. Okay, so for my journal page, I'm going to use my glue stick. Because I can do a little bit at a time and not stick to that page. Okay, this part over here, I can add lace, I can add ribbon, I can add whatever I want, or I can just leave it alone. In some journals, I've left it alone. In my great big other journals, I've covered it with lace. I've put antique lace there. In this one, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might put some lace in there. Okay, so now this is going to close. So I need to trim this off. Now, if you're putting in a picture from a book, and you like the picture that I showed you, there was a little piece left there. That's because I didn't want to cut that picture off of that book page. You can leave it. You don't have to cut it off. Okay. Now, once that gets down, you can go on and take this, and you can make sure everything's down how you need it. Now, this needs trimmed a little bit. And after it dries, I'll come in and maneuver the book around and I'll trim it. Now, what am I going to do with this whole page? Well, now I can come in and I can decorate it any way I choose. Now, had I chosen a book page, like a children's book page or something like that, I wouldn't have to decorate it. But now I can put pockets in here. What did we do with that? We can put pockets on here. We can put anything we want here. And I wanted to show you my little sweet baby grandbaby. Now, I know it was from his parents, but look, he sent me a birthday card. Isn't he the little sweetest darling? It's from Callahan, Sheets, Piper, and Toothless. Now, Callahan's my grandson. These are my fur babies. So, that is going to fit in this little journal someplace now. It's bigger than the pages, but it is going to go in my journal. Probably right about in there. But the envelope might have to go. I might have to use the envelope someplace else. But when I got it, it was so sweet. It says Grandma. That just made me so happy. So I might just put that in there, but I don't know if I can. Oh, I can. I can just close that right over it. And then in here, I can put, other things if I want. Like little pictures of him and things like that. And I think that's dry enough that I can come in and ink these edges now. There. There we go. Now I just need to do this top one. Oops, pulled it right up out of the glue. Guess I need to glue that one back down. Guess it wasn't dry. So, let's glue it back down. Yeah, for my birthday, I got one of those little personal printer things. So, I'm going to be printing pictures of my little stinker and putting pictures in here. And we're going to see them, we think, at Easter. So I'm going to be putting Easter things in here. Easter cards, things like that. So I'm excited about that. So there is that project. So let me see the time. Oh, good. We still have plenty of time to do something else. So there's that little flip out. So now, if you're doing one in your journal, don't forget you can decorate this page if you've just used scrapbook paper. I'm going to put that in there. Okay. Now, the next thing that I wanted to do, and you guys have seen me do this with playing cards plenty of times. Let me put that under there. Is I had these little playing cards that I showed you. The little Raggedy Ann and Andy's. And they're just regular, little playing cards. And I want to, now what did I do with that? Here it is. A little cutting board. So I want to take a couple of these. And let's see, I think I want to use the king. Because right now he is king of the household, let me tell you. And I don't think it really matters what the other one is. Because you're not going to see it. And maybe that one. My little sweetie pie is king of the household right now. And let me grab my, where is it? Here it is. I'm going to take my little sanding block. And I'm going to sand some of the shine off of these. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Off of both sides. It just helps things, you know, stick together. If they're not so shiny. Okay. Okay, let me grab I have no idea what I did with that wipe. I had a baby wipe up here to wipe off my table, and, well, like other things in life, it's grown legs and walked away. So I want to wipe that down, get all the dust off of it. Now get the dust off of my mat. Okay, and I think I can sit down now, which I'm thinking my knee will appreciate. Okay, so I need my knife. I don't need you. And we're going to need our acetate. And out of my little field notes snippets, that's not what I wanted. I want that little butterfly. When we went to, and I want this little blue butterfly. When we took him for a walk, when I was up there visiting, we went to a nature center. And there's the flower I'm looking for. He loved, now granted, he's just a little bitty booger. There, that's what I want behind it, I think. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. He loved laying in his stroller watching butterflies. See, and I think if I cut that, I might be able to see that through there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm cutting this king out through here. Can you see the line around the king? Right there. I'm cutting on that line to cut that out. And I have sticky on my knife, so let's see if it works here. I'm just going to follow that line. We had this little, I don't know if it was a butterfly or a moth. It's kind of early in the year for a butterfly. So it might have been a moth or something. It was something flying around. But he was fascinated by the movement of it. And he's got a little, what are those things called that, you know, hang above their little beds and stuff. A little mobile, I think is what it's called. Or mobile, I don't know how you say it. Hanging above his little toy that he lays under and plays with. And he's fascinated by those things. He kicks and squirms and squeals, and the more he kicks, the more it wiggles, and the more it wiggles, the more he kicks. So he's fascinated by it. And my daughter-in-law was telling me that now he's trying to, you know, roll over, and he's reaching for it. So, you know, so now, well, when it's not raining, they take him for walks back out in that area. And, what is going on here? Why won't that cut through? And he's still fascinated by it. So, I think my boy's going to be a naturist. He is going to love being outside And his grandpa is going to love that. There we go. Now it went through. That's better. Good heavens. What is the deal here? These are some thick cards. These are really thick cards. Okay. That's what I was looking for. So I wanted that. Like that. And if I wasn't going to be able to see it, I was going to use that one. So I want to put the acetate on top of that. Let's see if this piece is big enough. Or behind it. I think it's big enough. Yeah. And then I want to put that there. Oh, no, I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you. I might have to just figure out how to position you back in there. This might work the best. Just turn the card over like that. Like, because that's what I want to see. I want to just see I want to see the back of the card through there like that. I mean, that's about as easy as you can get. And then I want to put that little blue butterfly down there. But I need to trim this acetate first. Before I can do anything. So I need to trim this acetate off. Okay. Now I need something with a fine tip, and I don't have. Yes, I do right there. See, I didn't think I had a clean fine tip, but I do. My other fine tip is being cleaned. Okay, now what I'm doing here is I'm just trimming acetate that's too big. It's really hard to see on that light color. Okay, now let me see how I'm going to get that stuck down. I think the easiest way to do it is to just go around the top edge, or this light blue edge, is to go around this blue edge of the card. I think I need some more glue in my bottle. All right, let's see how that works. I know you're thinking, why in the world do that? Because I wanted the back and the front together. I wanted it to look like that. Because my little man is king of the house right now. And this was the only way I could figure out to do it. Okay. And I want one of these little cards. To go in one of those little pockets that we just made. Or in one of the other little pockets that we have in my journal. There. Now, one of the other cards that we have, one of these little flowers are going to go in, but it's not going to be these cards with the little people. It's going to be one of my other cards that I have ready to go. Whoops, there goes the water bottle. It's going to be, okay, where are they? Somewhere are the other cards that I have ready to go. Already had them prepped. You know, you think you have something ready. There's the other inside of it. You think you have it ready to go. You think you're all ready to go. And then when you reach in to get it, it's not where you think it is. All right, hold on. Oh gracious. Let me get a hold of it. Okay, well, all else fails, you just make a new one. All right, so we're going to use that. And we're going to use a book page. Actually, we need two of them, don't we? Here's the deck that's open. Actually, yeah, that'll work. Because I want one for my other journal. Okay. So let's take out two book pages. Now, whenever I do something like this, I use book pages that, you know, really can't be used for anything else because they're just worn out. And the book pages are just too, how do you say it? They're too fragile, really, to be used for anything else. So, let's put a pin in this, or I'm going to be in the same shape I was with the other one. Okay. So, I need to figure out, I think that's the one that will fit. So, again, I'm going to cut this out. Except I'm going to put the two of these together so I can cut them out together, and that way they'll be the same size. So to do that, I'm going to clip on this side. I'm going to cut here. Then when I get to the other side, I'll just move them. Now, this is going to be really thick, so I'm just going to have to push. And hopefully, you know what, maybe my bigger knife will work better. Let's try that. Let's put this under it. doesn't squish in as much. Let's see. Yeah, that's going through. Okay, so we're going to walk these around to hold things together. And that'll keep things from wiggling around and keep things safe. Now, I'm not going to worry about the corners if I don't get in the corners with this big knife. I've got my little scissors I can use. Or even my smaller knife I can use. There. Okay, so I'm all the way through except for in the corners. So I'm going to take my scissors Okay, there's that corner. One little tiny piece of paper. Okay, let's see. I got it there, but where don't I have it back here? Okay, that side's through. That corner is not. That one is. That one is not. Okay. Okay, there we go. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I hate it when it does that. Okay, so we are all the way through. All right, so I want to turn those over. Now, we need a little piece of acetate for those. Now, you know what? I have, let's use this. This is just from a little, I don't have any idea what was in it, actually. Of ephemera, I'm sure. Let's just use that. But it is the perfect size. Now, let's cut it open. Did it come open? I think it did. Maybe. Oh, no, did not. Come on. There we go. All right, so I am going to put that there. So let's go on and get this glued down on both of these little cards. Okay, there's that one. Okay, there's that one. I think I just put that on the wrong side, didn't I? I want it on this side. Goofy girl. Okay, and then this side. Silly goofy girl, not paying attention. Let's clean this off. Okay, and then this side. Okay. There we go. Now we'll let those sit for a minute. Now that's just probably packaging that had like old Tim Holtz stuff or somebody else's ephemera pieces in it. I don't know what was in it. Could have had those, you know, those little stickers, those little pet stickers. Could have had those in it. Okay, make sure everything is glued down. Get the edges trimmed. Get the glue wiped off here. Now I can see it sticking out. I just can't get it in my scissors. There we go. It's right there. Okay. This is the pin I want. This is the one that goes in the trash. Now, I want these to dry for a minute. And this little pimpy stuff goes to the trash. And then this is the little flower. Right here. That I want. So let's do a really quick bippity bop around. Now, what I want to put behind it, because it's going to be doubled, is those stickers I was just talking about. I want to put those in there also. Otherwise, that's what you're going to see behind it. And I don't think there's another one of these the same size. Okay, so there's that one. And now, here, and here. So I need to find, to fit in here, like this will fit. But on the back of it, you'll see that. So when I put these together, like this, the back of my card, the front of my card looks really nice. Looks cute. The back of it, you see the back of the paper. So I could put book page back there. You know, I could back that with book page. I could, which is a possibility. I could take these one of these pet stickers and put in here. And then put this on top of it. Like that. But that doesn't really solve the problem because you still see the back of it. So I'm thinking I'm going to back this with book page. This really old book page, as a matter of fact. Nathaniel Hawthorne. Except I want all words. This is an old Nathaniel Hawthorne page. And I'm going to put it right there. And I can't use this Nathaniel Hawthorne page anyplace else because it is so old and it's so brittle and soft that it tears every time I touch it. So I'm just going to use it just like this and back this little bippity bop. So now I'm just going to cut this out. And it's got a piece of washi tape on the back of it. Oh well. Okay, let's run this over the top of it again. I just can't win for losing on this piece, can I? Okay, so let's go on and get this on here. Now, where did the other one go? Uh-oh, I've lost my other card. Well, here's one card. Where's the other one? Okay, you guys, what did I do with the other card? Oh, for goodness sakes, what did I just do with it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Now, I know this will dry clear, so I'm not going to be in a big panic about this. I'm just putting a little tiny bit on there to kind of hold it in place. Oh, I got to glue this on there. Now on this one, I'm just going to run it right around the top. Like that. Now I still see some of my acetate sticking out. Oh, and I got a little piece on the inside there I need to get out. Right there. Nope, it's still there. Get out there. Okay. Now, where did my butterfly go? Oh, for goodness sakes, I'm just losing everything here. I think that butterfly might be too big. I think I need to get a smaller butterfly. Okay. Alrighty. Now, there we go. Now, I'm sure by the time you actually see this, everything will be dry, it will be trimmed, and I will have been able to finish the decorating on it because nothing will be slipping and sliding around. There we go. There. So I have gotten 2 done so far. There. So hopefully, by the time this video comes out, you'll see the finished decorating on this one. And that little guy will be in our journals, in my Grandma Loves journal. And I will have gotten to see my little man again and have some pictures of him in my journal, or be getting some pictures of him. And I want to thank you all for joining me today. It's always so much fun having you at my craft table with me, even when I can't find what I'm looking for. So I hope that you give these a try. I know they're old hat, and I know we've made them several times, and everybody makes them. But, you know, trying something new, like pictures from a book, and just flipping a card around because you like the picture on the back. That's just something different and new. So I hope you give that a try. And I hope that you try it, and I hope that you experiment, because, you know, you never know what you're going to find on the back of a card. Yeah, they're all different, so give it a try and explore. So until I see you again in my next Ladybug Journals, ta-ta for now.